Crypto market is right now entering a critical area where we are going to see a major run soon. And when we are saying soon, it's not about next 9 months, next year or so. It's most likely in next 2-3 months, and we may even hit some critical levels in 2 months time. Why is that? If you go deep into that, you can see a lot of different questions which needs to be answered. And then you try to break them down, right? You go one by one. Yes, we agree that this is a long-term trend line where we are at right now. We've been respecting that range from a long period of time, and right now you are there. Yes, that's one of the key points, but it's not the only thing. Here you go back and you look at the time horizon and you're like, okay, that's the top of dollar and it's December 2016. And you see crypto market bottoming and starting to bounce back up. One. Then at the same time, you try to measure what was the downside in dollar market. It was around 15% to the downside. And the crypto market went nuts, and most of the gains, if you measure the total run up, came after the dollar dropped 8 to 10%. Right now, dollar is dropping, and dollar has been dropping like 9%. So most likely, as we've seen in the past, when dollar retraces the first leg and then slows down, that's where you see major run up. Dollar moving into different assets, understanding the value is not going to hold, it's going to depreciate further. And that's something we are looking forward to see maybe in 30 days, maybe in 40 days, because the Fed is going to involve in this. We are going to see the CPI coming out. We're going to see the Fed going in. So what do we look forward to in Bitcoin market? What are we looking forward in the XRP, in the Ether, in the entire crypto market? Because not every coin will be moving similarly. We talked about this yesterday. Now dollar broke this one. We are going down. We talked about this yesterday. And we right now see how that asset is moving. It's breaking higher. So the market gives you some signals. And if it's a long-term signal, now you need patience. So we are going to break that down in a way that we both understand that clearly. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of the world. As we've been discussing through this, we talked about how dollar is going to peak here. You can go back to like September, late September, early October videos, and you will see the same. Now, dollar is coming back down. It's breaking through its support ranges, which is good. Now, if you zoom out, you'll see like, okay, this is going to be another big support range for dollar. Great. So that is where we are looking for the price to drop, and then crypto market and markets across the board to move. If you are looking at stocks, you look at this, Netflix. It's already 100% up from the bottom. We've talked about this when we were at the bottom. And right now you see the long-term trend playing out. So if this is in one asset and you see the long-term structure is playing out even in this cycle, this time. Now understand, this is stock market, not the crypto market. And it is still going back up. So we say volatility is high in crypto, but we see this happening on the stock market side too. So if you are looking at this, then it's somewhat same. There is nothing different here. You are observing something which is happening in every different market. Similarly, we have seen different assets showing similar trend. We are focused on that. We have talked about that before, right? Same thing happening in different assets is one of the structure which shows the market is now getting highly correlated at one point where it should be correlated, because that trend in the monetary policy is nearing to a slowdown and a reversal, which is going to be bullish, and traders and investors are going to put this in a bullish note. So that being said, what are you looking ahead for XRP? On the short term, we are looking for this one to drop, because this is a short-term chart. This is the trend. Usually we know this pattern does not end well, right? If we are following this pattern, usually that happens to be a corrective pattern. Now that's a 4-hour chart. So if you are zoomed in looking at what's happening, now you can also argue that the RSI is nearing the support. It's a good thing. If we bounce, if we break, we are looking for further downside. But that's on a short term, and the downside is not too much because you are looking at a drop towards 0.37, 0.36, which is healthy even in this market condition, because right now when you try and connect these, you are at the resistance and you also see one pattern evolving through that. So you would say, at least I would say, that's healthy to come back down to this trend line support and bounce. That's usually how the market works. Now, if you take the same concept and go look at the RSI here, you will be able to see like we had a trend line like this where we dropped or crashed. Then when we broke this one, that was a confirmation that we are headed all the way back up of this trend line. Now, yes, you can plot the standard deviation as well and say, yes, if you are optimistic and agree that even more money is going to be involved in this market than last cycle, you can look at that upside too, and that's not impossible. The market has wicked through that, maybe a glitch, but that is showing there is a possibility. Great. Now what's happening? You connect all these resistance, and after a long period of time, you broke that, retested that, and is right now bouncing. Keep that into account. When this happened last time, you were at a support. When this is happening right now, you are at a support, and that was bouncing from the support and the moving averages. Here, you only have the 200-day moving average as a support right now. But if you happen to bounce even 10-15%, now you get supported by the short-term moving average as well. So for this, you can actually go into a 3-day chart or a daily chart to see where you are right now, because getting a double bottom here is going to be really bullish. Now, one of the biggest things which we try to always focus on is what the price action shows you and what we think. Great, because the price action is the reality. What we think can be just a speculation or an opinion. So if the price action shows you a possibility of a double bottom, then don't neglect it. Most likely it's going to happen. If you remember, we talked about a possibility in Bitcoin, which is evolving. Now on a short term, yes, it does seem like there should be a retest. We broke higher. A retest is going to be healthy, but that's not a big drop we are talking about. Then on a medium term scenario, if the entire altcoin market is to run up, we would argue that Bitcoin is also in positive territory. Great. So why would Bitcoin go positive in this territory? And we look at the technicals, and the technical indicators suggest us, okay, Bitcoin is making a bullish divergence. We talked about this when we were at the bottom. Right now, it's slowly turning. Now, if you cannot understand that based on the market noise, just turn it into a line chart. Look at what the price is doing. Is it rounding back up or is it going down? It's clear here that the price is slowly rounding back up. Now, if Bitcoin is bouncing and it is going towards $20,000, that does mean all coins are going to go even higher. Now, Ether does seems a little bit slow, and with what we watched here in the news section, I think it was, Tony. So if you're watching his video today, you'll actually understand there is a possibility this is coming. And that means XRP is going to be the only coin in that sense with regulatory clarity. Now that's going to be huge, right? Say if you're in the stock market, you will be looking at an asset and you will try to plot your resistance and you'll argue what's going to happen. In a similar way, when you are in the crypto market, this is what you're looking at. You'll just put that into a line and you observe that's a reversal sign. Now, you go into XRP. This is really interesting. Say if you are on a 3-day chart for XRP and you're trying to look at it on a line chart, again, we've talked about this before. It's clear what's happening in the market. It is leading. And then you go on a weekly and you're like, okay, that's a triple bottom. And you're already starting to bounce. You get the momentum. So the next one should usually break through the resistance. Great. Now, if Ether is low, it cannot make a higher high. Will that be bad for altcoins? yes, for a lot of different coins, it's going to be bad. But on the other side, you do see coins starting to burst higher. You do see coins which are looking bullish even though they are down 90%. Now, there are few of them which actually looks bullish on a short-term note. But understand that's on an ultra short-term note. Yes, it's breaking higher. That's good. But you need a retest and bounce and then get back into this trading range. Because once you do this, now this is for any asset in the market. Once you reach back into this territory, now you have a long way to go. You break this, that's upside. Now you take this measurement and say, okay, that's 100% possibility to move from there. Now, when that happens, you are now rounding out from a macro pattern which has been, corrective till this point, and you've made a long-term range supported. Now, when we bounce, that's going to be something of a great interest because you're bouncing and breaking through something huge. Now, if you've been watching this channel for some time, you know what this means. Moving average crossing to the downside, 50 to the 200, which is death cross as they say. But remember, when we actually got the golden cross, what happened? The price topped out, you came back down. So when you're getting the death cross, I'm imagining, based on all that we have seen in the market, you are going to go back up. That's something great because that's on a weekly and it's a macro phase. And on a macro phase, you reversing in price means that's going to come. Now, go back to XRP, look at this macro trend and think what your portfolio look like when it reaches this 1.6 range. Are you going to take some profit? When it reaches this all-time high or touch that range, are you going to take some profit? Because there will be a lot of different opinions in the market saying $100, $1,000, $10,000, $50,000, whatever. But you need to first ask this question, where will you be happy to take profit? Where will you be comfortable and liquid for next 2-3 years to wait for this to appreciate? If it's going higher, $100, $1,000, $10,000, it's all good, it's all great. But when it reaches 10, 15, 20, if you are not taking profit and something major happens in the economy, it goes down for next 2 years, can you survive? So if it reaches that range, 10, 15, 20, and you can take some profit and you are liquid for next 2-3 years, now you can wait, right? So for that, you need to make sure if you have 10 assets, those assets have proper targets, which is going to be really important in any sense. Because when you look at XRP and then try comparing XLM or any other highly correlated asset, they're not breaking through, giving you a bullish narrative right now. So you're literally waiting for them to show you a reversal pattern. Yes, it's building on bullish divergence, but it has not yet started breaking to the upside. So we are still waiting even on a daily, right? So not all assets are going to perform same. Last time, if you compare XRP to XLM, you will understand clearly that XRP lagged XLM. So you are going on to a daily chart here and you want to just compare last market cycle here for XRP with XLM. So what you're going to do is you're going to take XLM there and put both the market caps there. Now, imagine this in this time frame. Say this is going to be a daily and a daily here. Great. Now, if you take both of them in the same horizon and look at that, you will have a view something which looks something like this. Let's minimize this and make it clear. Now measure the total move after the SEC run up for XRP. This is resilience. After getting hit hard by SEC, you literally did as 11x. Now if you actually take that to the bottom of the cycle, it was close to 18x. But if you are taking the same for XLM, that was like 26, 27x or 35x. If we put the proper range, yeah, still 35x. So it literally did double the average last time for XRP to XLM. But this time, it does not actually look like you are going to repeat that. Instead, you are losing strength here when this asset is gaining strength here. If that makes sense to you. So most likely, if this one is going to do a 25x, you can see 50x in XRP. If this is doing a 20, you can see most likely a 35, 40x in XRP. So now the question becomes like, okay, fine, then how much is gonna, what ratio is gonna work out for XLM and XRP? So you just come in, you just go to XLM and you want to actually put in a number. You want to look like how high this can actually go, right? Now you measure the pattern and you argue that this is wave 1 for sure, because you had a clear pattern here which you broke to the upside, came back down, testing that same run up to the downside to the 90%. Now you try and connect this pattern, which is a bullish wedge, right? Falling wedge is usually bullish. Take the measured move, this goes something like this. At 12x was in the wave 1. So if you are trying to drop that into wave 2, you will take 2 to 3 times of that from the bottom. So you're going 24, somewhere like this, all the way up towards 36. So if that's what you are arguing, that the XLM can do a 35, 36x, what will that look like in price? Now, the argument here is not XLM doing 30x. The argument is if XLM is doing 30, XRP is going to do 60. Go to XRP and try and see what a 60x in XRP looks like from the recent bottom. So you're taking that and trying to plot it to see how high this actually goes if that works out well. Now that's close to $12. So if XLM is actually going that high, then you're observing the XRP close to $12. Now, that being said, understand this. So if you are taking profits at $3, $5, $10, whatever your exit points are, you are in the safe region. Imagine the price goes to $13. You're waiting for 25 or 30 or 100 and it slows down. Something happens, a war, a pandemic, anything. That's not what you really want in this market. So make sure you understand what are the different possibilities and create an exit strategy based on that. Make sure you look at a lot of assets, especially every assets in your portfolio, in a way that you know whether this is actually reversing with the market or it's going down when the market is reversing back up. Is there volume in that asset right now, or people are not interested, no one is buying that? That's going to be a big question. Right now, here we are actually going through our Ask for TA session in the Patreon way. We are literally looking at every assets which you have in your portfolio. You can request that. I'm sitting on, working on, and giving you, this is what that asset looks like on a short term to medium term. Is it actually going back up or it's dropping back lower? If you have an interest in watching that for your assets in your portfolio, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And again, this is my second channel. If you have 3 to 5 minutes more, please do visit this channel and watch a video and inform how it felt like. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.